मया काचिदुपासना ब्रजवधू वर्गेण या कल्पिता श्रीमद् भागवतं प्रमाणममालम् प्रेम पुमार्तो महान् श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभुर्मतमिदं तत्रादरो न परः तत्रादरो न परः। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल श्री श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुम् उन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथामितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं। श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I heartily welcome all the devotees assembled here for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. I would like to offer my humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas here. Kindly bless me so that we'll be able to read the shlokas and discuss the topics today. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 82, and we are going to read today the text number 46. So kindly recite after me. एवं हि एतानि भूतानि एवं हि एतानि भूतानि भूतेष्व ātmātmanā ततः भूतेष्व ātmātmanā ततः ubhayaṁ mayyā atha pare ubhayaṁ mayyā atha pare paśyatābhātam akṣare paśyatābhātam akṣare evaṁ hi etāni bhūtāni bhūteṣv ātmātmanā tataḥ ubhayaṁ mayi atha pare paśyatābhātam akṣare evaṁ hi etāni bhūtāni bhūteṣv ātmātmanā tataḥ ubhayaṁ mayi atha paśyatābhātam akṣare evam hi etāni bhūtāni bhūteṣv ātmātmanā tataḥ ubhayaṁ mayi atha pare paśyatābhātam akṣare evam hi etāni bhūtāni bhūteṣv ātmātmanā tataḥ ubhayaṁ mayi atha pare paśyatābhātam akṣare evam hi etāni bhūtāni bhūteṣv ātmātmanā tataḥ ubhayaṁ mayi atha pare paśyatābhātam akṣare evam hi etāni bhūtāni bhūteṣu ātmātmanā matha ubhayaṁ mayi atha pare paśyatābhātam akṣare. Mataएं evam hi etāni bhūtāni bhūteṣu ātmātmanā ubhayaṁ mayi atha pare paśyatābhātam akṣare evam hi etāni bhūtāni bhūteṣv ātmātmanā tataḥ ubhayaṁ mayi atha pare paśyatābhātam akṣare. Hare Krishna. Synonyms, meaning of these words: evam, in this manner; he, indeed; etāni, these; bhūtāni, material entities; bhūteṣu, within the elements of creation; ātmā, the self; ātmanā, in its own true identity; tataḥ, pervasive; ubhayaṁ, both; mayi, within me; atha, that is to say, pare, within the supreme truth. Paśyata, you should see. Ābhātam, manifested. Akṣare, within the imperishable. Translation and purport by the dear devotees of Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this way, all created things reside within the basic elements of creation. While the spirit souls pervade the creation, remaining in their own true identity, you should see both of these, the material creation and the self, as manifest within me, the imperishable supreme truth. Purport. One should properly understand the relationship among the material objects of this world. The elements comprising their basic substance, the individual spirit souls, and one supreme soul. The various objects of material enjoyment, such as pots, rivers, mountains, are manufactured from the basic material elements: earth, water, fire, and so on. These elements pervade material things as their cause, while the spirit souls pervade them in their special role as their enjoyer, ātmānā. And ultimately, the material elements, their products, and the living entities are all manifested within the pervaded by the imperishable, perfectly complete Supreme Soul, Krishna. A jnani with realization of these facts should feel no separation from the Lord in any situation. But the Gopis of Vraja are much more elevated in their Krishna consciousness than ordinary jnanis. Because of their intense love for Krishna in his most human-like, all-attractive aspect as a young cowhead boy, Krishna's internal potency, yogamaya, covered their knowledge of his majestic aspects, such as his all-pervasiveness. Thus the Gopis were able to relish the intense ecstasy caused by their love in separation from him. Only in just is Sri Krishna ascribing to them a lack of spiritual discrimination. Hare Krishna. I once again welcome all the devotees today. So this chapter is a very wonderful chapter, and it is all most important for us. Because in this chapter, Srimati Radharani and all the Gopis are meeting Krishna and Balaram after a very, very long time. So it's a moment of joy, reunion of Gopis and Krishna. So this chapter now, we are almost at the concluding part of this chapter. This chapter, 10th canto, chapter 82, which has 48 verses. And this whole chapter can be divided into 6 parts based on the themes. The first part, where in this beginning of this chapter, Sukdev Goswami is explaining how all the kings from Bhoja, Vrashni, Satvata, Andhaka, various kings from the various part of India, they are all coming to the Kurukshetra, the holy place. Because during the solar eclipse, Surya Grahan time, it is a custom in India to perform sacrifice, to give away charity, and to take a bath in the holy lakes at the Kurukshetra. This has been described that one will acquire a great credit points in pious activities if he takes a bath in those holy lake during this solar eclipse. So many people are traveling, and all the kings with their decorated horses and the chariots and the troops of so many soldiers, They are traveling from different parts of India to Kurukshetra. So this is explained in verses, 11 verses. This is the first part. And in the second part, in 19 verses, Sukadeva Goswami has explained the pilgrims, how they bathe, performed the sacrifice, and gave charity, and embraced each other for their love and affection for different kings and different friends. So this union of many people at Kurukshetra was not only pious activity, but it is also a political, social, and a diplomatic maybe meet. Because all these kings are finding an opportunity to meet each other to discuss some of the topics, and more importantly, Yadus and all the kings wanting to meet Krishna and Balram. But at the same time, the Brajavasis, Nanda Baba, Yashoda, and all the Gopis, they also traveled to Kurukshetra. So other day, Param Puja Vaishnava Akṣare Swami Maharaj was explaining that the Gopis has no intention to earn any pious credit by taking bath or reaching to that place. The only object was to see Krishna and Balram, nothing else. So the Gopis, Nanda Baba and Yashoda knew that Krishna and Balram would also come during the solar eclipse at Kurukshetra. Their only intention was to meet him, see him. So that is explained in 19 verses. The next part is Krishna's parents and all the close relatives, because they also came there and saw each other after a long time. For example, Kunti Maharani and Vasudevji, they are meeting after a long time. Because of the fear of Kamsa, many of these Andhaka, Vrishni, Satvata family could not meet for a long time. And now this was an opportunity for them to meet. So each one are so jubilant. They are embracing each other. They are thanking each other, expressing their gratitude for what they have helped. Nanda Baba and Vasudevji in particular is explaining his gratitude to Nanda Baba, how he maintained his family and how he took care of Krishna and Balram when Vasudevji was in prison. So this was all moment of joy for them. They are embracing, they are describing the activities of each of them. The fourth part, Shlok Kramank 39 to 40, Krishna, all the Gopis, when they also came there, and they were amidst so many people, so many kings, majestic kings, all are in a kingly robe, decorated with golden ornaments, and so many soldiers are walking at that place. But all the Gopis are just searching for Krishna. It was very difficult for them to pass through all these people and find Krishna and Balram. You can just imagine, the Gopis are meeting Krishna after almost 110 years. Because Krishna stayed in Vrindavan for 11 years, 11 months. Then he stayed in Mathura for 18 years. And in Dwarka, almost 100 years. So Lord Krishna performed all his earthly activities, Leela, for 129 years. So Gopis are meeting, and this incident, as explained by Acharyas, this is happening just before the Kurukshetra war. Kurukshetra war has not happened yet. So that's why you could find the Duryodhana and all the Kauravas are also have come here in this place. Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadev also are in this place. Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, all are there in this place. So this incident is happening just before maybe few years before the Kurukshetra war. So during Kurukshetra war, Lord Krishna's age was 125 years. So gopis are meeting Krishna almost more than 100 years. So you can imagine the pain of separation in the hearts of gopis, the pain of separation in the hearts of Nand Baba, Yashoda, and all other the devotee kings were aspiring to see Krishna. So that's why this chapter is very, very important. And in the next shloka 41 and 46 today, what we are going to discuss, Krishna, in previous group, in previous part of this chapter, 39 to 40, gopis meet Krishna after long separation, took him into their hearts, embraced him to their full satisfaction. The Supreme Lord approached the gopis in a secluded place. They were not very comfortable meeting Krishna and Balaram amidst all the troops of the soldiers, the kings. And they were not able to see him eye to eye. So Krishna could understand. And he gathered all the gopis and brought them to some secluded place. Now you can just imagine, even in this material world, an ordinary friend, if he meets after 10 years, how much separation he feels about his friend. But these are the gopis and Radharani. Krishna is the life and soul for them. For this more than 100 years, wanting to see Krishna, talk to Krishna, every day they were crying, weeping, and their life was just devastated because Krishna left them. And today that moment has come that they are able to see Krishna personally. And they are not able to bear the pain of separation. So that's why Krishna wanted to pacify them, giving them the spiritual knowledge. And that is the theme of today's verse, that Krishna is explaining how in this material world the various jivas come together by the force of the time. They stay together for some time and then they are dispersed. Just like a piece of wood, a piece of cotton, a piece of leaf. Because of the force of the air, they come together at some place and then they are distracted. Similarly, all the jivas come. And in 6 verses, Krishna is giving the knowledge to gopis just to pacify them from this pain of separation. And just like Arjuna gave the Gita Upadesh at the same place, Kurukshetra, Lord Krishna is giving the Upadesh to gopis. Lord Krishna showed his universal form to Arjuna in the Kurukshetra place. But Krishna showed the universal expansion or sarvavyapi concept of Krishna to gopis. So that's why in this shlok number 46, we will, this is the last part of this section where Krishna is saying, in this way all created things reside within me, within the basic elements of creation, while the spirit soul pervade all the creation. Remaining in their own true identity, you should see both of these, the material creation and the self, as manifest within me, the imperishable supreme truth. So this is explained very nicely by the acharyas. Before that, let's just look into why this chapter is so important for us. Because this chapter is important for all the devotees, because the gopis are meeting Krishna after a long time. As we just discussed, more than 100 years. The concept of Jagannath Rath Yatra started from this chapter. Kurukshetra is the place, gopis and Radharani are the original founder acharyas of the Jagannath Rath Yatra festival. So that's why this chapter is important. The Nand Baba, Yashoda Mata, Brijivasi, etc., thinking that they will meet Krishna and not for earning any pious credit. Like Many of the people just go to take bath, perform sacrifice, but for Nanda Baba, Brajavasis, it is not for any pious activity, just to see Krishna. Gopis became very happy at this place, at this meeting, and gave up their illusion and anxiety that had entered their hearts due to feeling of separation from Krishna. It is even before the Arjuna's illusion was removed. At the same place, Kurukshetra, during the war of, Mahabharata, Arjuna was in confusion about his rights and duties. He is not able to decide. And at this same place, Lord Krishna drove away his illusion by giving the Gita Upanishad. But just similarly, before this Kurukshetra war, Kurukshetra, a place of pilgrim where Krishna removed the illusion of the gopis even before the Kurukshetra war. So that's why this chapter is important. And of course, as we know, Kurukshetra is a place of pilgrimage. Removed the illusion of Arjuna, the world famous Gita was spoken on this same place. So this unbearable pain of separation from the Lord. When Krishna left Vrindavan in his youth time, he had promised to return very soon. But he had been away for a long time, almost about 100 years. So out of intense spiritual love, the residents of Vrindavan had always felt ecstatic longing to see him again. The residents of Dwarka, a majestic city, arrived at Kurukshetra on the chariots. The residents of Vrindavana, a simple cowherd village, on the bullock carts drove by the oxes. So, at this place, how one can forget Krishna, how one can bear the pain of separation of Krishna. Many for a devotees, if they have to be away from devotion, if they have to be away from Krishna for want of anything material benefit, no devotee would like it. Bhūmata, Vasundhara Devi, Bhūdevi, when Krishna was performing his Leela on this earth, on Bhūmata, Bhūmata was feeling very ecstatic because Lord used to walk barefooted on this earth. So Vasundhara Devi, Bhūdevi were very, very much ecstatic receiving the lotus feet of the Lord. But when Lord departed to his Golok Dham, concluding all his activities, Bhūdevi became very morose. So in Canto 1, 16th chapter, Bhūmata is singing her, lamentation in front of the bull in the form of a dharma. Kavasaheta viraham purushottamashya premavaloka ruchira smitavalgujal pai stairyam samanamarahan ho stairyam samanamarahan madhumaninam romotsavo mamayadangri vitankitaya kavasaheta viraham purushottamashya. So Bhūdevi is saying, who therefore can tolerate the pangs of separation from the Supreme Personality of Godhead? He could conquer the gravity and passionate wrath of his sweetheart like Satyabhama by his sweet smile and love, pleasing glances and hearty appeals. When he travelled my earth's surface, I would be immersed in the dust of his lotus feet, and thus would be sumptuously covered with the grass, which appeared like hair standing on me out of pleasure. The Bhūdevi is saying, when the Krishna used to walk on my body on the earth, I would become ecstatic, and the hairs on my body will stand up. Just the grass which grows during the rainy season, it shows the ecstatic symptom of Bhūmata, because Lord Krishna was walking on her body. So Bhūmata is singing. So, and the same Krishna, when so many Dwarka Vasinis, the good wives of the Krishna, they quarrel with Krishna, and they become anguish. Krishna, just by smiling, he'll remove their mana. So that Krishna, who can forget? And who can bear the separation of such a love of Krishna? So this Bhūmata is singing this. And what to speak of the Gopis and the Radharani? The same Radharani and the Gopis are describing the glories of this Mother Earth. After the Ras Leela, when all the Gopis went searching for Krishna, they could not find him. But in the mid of the night, in the moonlight, they could see the lotus feet imprints of Krishna on the Mother Earth. And the Gopis are remembering the lotus feet of Krishna and then glorifying this Mother Earth. Oh my Mother Earth, how glorious you are. What activities, what austerities found in your previous life to receive the opulent lotus feet of the Krishna. The Krishna lotus feet always touch your body. And how fortunate you are. So the Gopis are singing the glories of the Mother Earth. So the Radharani and Gopis sing, Kim te kratam kshiti tapo bata keshavangri Kim te kratam kshiti tapo bata keshavangri Sparshatsavot pulakitang Nahair vibhasi Apyangri sambhava Urukrama vikramadva Ahomana vapusha Parirambhanena. Vasundhara Devi, what austerity you have performed to receive that lotus feet of the Krishna. And always you feel very ecstatic, seeing on your body the grass is standing up. It appears as if your hairs are standing up. When did you get this ecstasy? When Lord Varahadeva lifted you from the ocean and he embraced you. Is it from that time that you are feeling this ecstasy? Or the Vamana Bhagavan, he put his feet on your body and he measured 3 steps. Is it during that time that you are feeling ecstatic? So Gopis are singing the glories of the Mother Earth. And the same Mother Earth is singing, is lamenting that Lord Krishna has left, and who can bear that separation, pain of separation. So similarly now we can think of, because of this pangs of separation, Gopis are lamenting and they're devastated because Krishna left them, who is the life and soul of these Gopis. And now they all are meeting after such a long time. And Krishna took this opportunity to pacify them. And very beautifully, Krishna is telling all the Gopis, the instructions are related to spiritual matter. Just like Krishna instructed Arjuna, he is instructing the Gopis. So in this 6 verses, Krishna explains to the Gopis. In shloka number 41, Krishna said, my dear girlfriends, Gopis, do you still remember me? It was for my relative's sake that I stayed away so long. Now he is giving a reason why I am meeting you after so long. Because of all my relatives. They have been attacked by so many demons. And I had to protect them. Vasudevji, Devaki Mata, I had to see them. So because of the obligation for my relatives, I had to leave you. So do you still remember me? Now Gopis may be laughing at Krishna when he asked this question. And they are feeling inside, we are not like you. You just said that you will come back and you went away just forgetting us. Do you think we are also like you? Gopis are, So do you perhaps think I am ungrateful? And thus hold me in contempt After all, it is the Supreme Lord who brings living beings together and then separates them. It's not my fault, it is Supreme Lord who brings the jivas together and then separates. And then after this, the Gopis, just as the wind brings together masses of cloud, blades of grass, wisp of cotton, particles of dust, only to scatter them all again. So the Creator deals with His created things in the same way. Now Gopis could understand Krishna is nobody else but the Supreme Lord. Because in the next verse number 44, Krishna explained, rendering devotional service to me. Okay, if you think I am the Supreme Lord, and then you please, you just take a note of this. Rendering devotional service to me qualifies any living beings for eternal life. But by your good fortune, you have developed a special loving attitude towards me, by which you have obtained me. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mama prapadyante vasudevam sarvamiti samatma sudurlabha. That same thing Lord Krishna is telling Gopis, by your good fortune, you have developed an attraction towards me. And whosoever develop this attraction, he becomes eternal. And then Lord, He is openly telling that I am the same Supreme Lord. And your devotion to me is very, very important and very, very pious. Dear ladies, I am the beginning and end of all created beings, and exists both within and without them. Just as the elements ether, water, earth, air and fire, bhumi, rapo, nalo, vayu, are the beginning and end of all material objects and exist both within and without them. Just like these panch mahabhuta are expanded everywhere in this material world, even the bodies that are formed is from this panch mahabhuta. And similarly, all the jivatma are pervaded in this material world, and they are trying to explore the pancha mahabhuta. In this way, all created things reside within the basic elements of creation. While the spirit soul pervade the creation, remaining in their own true identity, you should see both of these. Why you are lamenting? Why you are feeling the pain of separation? I am there in the every molecules in this material world. I am the only who hold this planet so that they remain in their position, they perform their arbitrary motion, just because gama avishya bhūtāni dharayami aham ojasa pushnami cha aushadim sarva somo bhutvarasatmakam. So intention of Lord is to say that I am pervaded everywhere in every minute particles, and this whole universe is, within and without me. So why you have to feel separation, pain of separation? In this way, all created things reside within the basic elements of creation, while the spirit soul pervade the creation, remaining in their own true identity. You should see both of these, the material creation and the self, as manifest within me. So that is today's verse, the last instruction of the 6th shloka. And when the Gopis could understand that Supreme Lord as a Kshirodakshaya Vishnu pervaded in this whole universe, and is the same Kshirodakshaya Vishnu who has expanded from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the expansion of Karanodakshaya Vishnu, and Karanodakshaya Vishnu is the expansion of Krishna. The same Krishna is standing in front of us. The same Krishna is pervaded, sarva vyapi, in this material world. So where there is a pain of separation? So that was the intention of Krishna, to tell Gopis to remove their illusion because of the deep attraction for Krishna. And as soon as they heard this 6 verses from Krishna, Gopis felt relieved of the pain. And this is the next verse number 47, tomorrow, which Sukadeva Goswami said, having thus been instructed by Krishna in spiritual matters, the gopis were forced, freed of all the tints of material ego because of their incessant meditation upon him, and within their deepening absorption in him, they came to understand him fully. So in the place of Kurukshetra, gopis became free of all the illusion and they could understand Krishna. And then in the next last verse of this chapter, they offer obeisances to Krishna. And their prayer is very beautiful. Ahushchate nalinanabha padaravindam yogeshwarairadi vichintya magada bodhay samsara kupa patitottaranāvalambam geham jushamapi mana shudeyat sada. The gopis spoke thus, dear Lord, whose novel is just like lotus flower. Your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen into the deep well of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon by great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that these lotus feet may also be awakened within our hearts, although we are only ordinary persons engaged in household affairs. So this is the beautiful prayer offered by gopis at the end of this chapter. So just to explain what Krishna told gopis about how the material element, gross elements pervade the entire material manifestation. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Bhumi Rapo, in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 4th shloka number 4, Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Kam Mano Buddhi Revacha Ahankara Itiyam Me Bhinna Prakriti Rashtada. My 8 Prakriti. What are these? Ether, the sky, air, Vayu, fire, Agni, water, Jala, earth, Bhumi. Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu. And you see the human senses, we have the knowledge acquiring senses like nose, ear, eyes, skin. So all these senses, are attracted to one of the quality of this Pancha Mahabhuta. For example, the quality of earth is fragrance, Sugandha, Gandha. In Bhumi there is a Gandha. In water there is a taste. Rasoham apsu kaunteya. So Krishna says, in water there is a taste. And in fire there is a form. You can see the form of the fire. In air there is a touch. So whenever the air flows, you can feel the touch. And in ether, in sky, there is a sound. So each of the 5 elements have got one quality within them. And as you go down from the top or from the sky has the quality sound. But air has the quality of sound and touch. Water has quality, fire has quality sound, touch and form. Water has quality sound, touch, form and taste. Because you can touch the water, water gets the form, and water also has a taste. Then fragrance. Earth has got the fragrance where sound, touch, form, taste, everything is there. So the nose is attracted to the gandha of the earth. Tongue is attracted to taste of the water. Eyes are attracted to form of the fire. Skin is attracted to touch of the air. Ears are attracted to the sound of the ether. Just like if you see the antenna, when you pull it and then you push it, one part goes inside the other. So similarly, in Bhumi, all these qualities are there within the Bhumi. So Krishna is explaining how this whole universe is pervaded by these 5 elements. Okay. In the same way, Vasudeva ji and Devaki Mata were feeling so much of agony because of the separation from Krishna, and because of the deep love for Krishna. Similar to gopis, they were thinking Krishna is their own son. And because of that feeling of separation from Krishna, they were also annoyed. Narad Muni instructs the Vasudeva and Devaki in a similar way, what Krishna explained to Gopis. In a similar way, this is in 11th canto, 7th chapter, 5th chapter. Narad Muni concludes his teaching by explaining to Vasudevji. And just hearing these instructions from the Narada, the illusion of the Vasudeva and Devaki was removed. In a similar way. And this is very important verse. This is in when the Lord steals the garments of the Gopis, unmarried girls. Gopis were worshipping the Katyayani Devi just to receive Krishna as their husband. The young unmarried girls from Vrindavan, you know. You can see in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many these great devotees, ladies, and what is their difference in love for Krishna? Like for example, Nagapatni. How beautiful, you know, prayer they offered when Krishna subdued the Kaliya, and Nagapatniya offered a very great prayers. Na nakaprastam, na chaparamestam, na sarvabhaumam, na yoga siddhir. And the unmarried girl from Vrindavan who performed the Katyayani Puja to get Krishna as their husband. So they were also great devotees of Krishna. And then Brahmana Patniyas, the wives of the Brahmana, who in the Bhat Road Bihari here, the same temple, where they could see the Krishna, you know, they left everything to see Krishna, where their husbands were performing the sacrifice. And they took all the preparation meant for sacrifice, came to see Krishna running. Just like Gopis left everything to see Krishna, and these Brahmana Patnis also came to see Krishna. And Kubja, of course, how fortunate Kubja was in the same Mathura here. When Krishna came to Mathura, Kubja could receive the love of Krishna. Kubja was called a Trivikra. She was bent in three forms, you know, like Kubda, ugly looking. But by the touch of Krishna, Kubja was transformed into a very beautiful young lady. And Kubja, in her previous life, was Shurpanika, seeing Lord Ram and Lord Lakshman, such an intense desire to have them as their husband. She was ready to do anything for getting them as their husband. You know, after Ravana was killed, Shurpanika could not forget the beauty of the Lord Rama and Lakshmana. You know, even all her brothers were killed in the war, but she was indifferent to that. She was only remembering, when can get that Lord Rama once in my lifetime. And she performed a great austerity at Pushkar in Rajasthan to worship Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva came in front of her. And then she asked, why you are performing such severe austerity? What do you want? Shurpanika, she only asked one thing, my Lord, I just cannot forget that beautiful Rama. I only have desire, when will I embrace him once in my life? Lord Shiva granted her boon. In Dwapar Yuga, Lord will fulfill your desire. You will take birth in the form of Kubja. So by the mercy of Lord Shiva, she came here in Mathura as Kubja. And Krishna, you know, touched her. Later Krishna went to her house and he stayed in her house for 8 days. Now if you see all these Nagapatni, the unmarried girls from the Vrindavan, Brahmana Patniya, Trivikra and Gopis, Out of all of this, the love of Gopis to Krishna is unparalleled. Because Nagapatniya, although they performed a very beautiful prayer, they could see Krishna in person. But in return, what they asked? They asked Krishna, please return our husband. Krishna, okay, you take him. So after performing all of these prayers, they asked their husband back. Then the unmarried girls from Vrindavan, they performed Katyayani Puja because to receive Krishna as their husband, they have some material desire. Brahmana Patniya, they have heard about Krishna from the Gopis coming from Vrindavan. Just by hearing about Krishna's glories, they had a desire to see them in person. They came here, met Krishna and saw them. And Krishna asked them to, you please go back. So that you wanted to see me, this my form will always remain in your heart. And you will relish this. And they returned. Although their prayers are very similar to Gopis. Trivikra, of course, it is purely out of to enjoy her senses. Kubja wanted to embrace Krishna, for her own body comfort, body, desire. But the Gopis, that's the difference. For the Gopis in their life, there is no other intention just to please Krishna. The only desire is to please Krishna. Radharani and all the Gopis used to get decorated so nicely. Why? It's not for themselves. Because Krishna will just glance at us and he will smile. That's all. They just want to see that smile on the face of Krishna. Their only desire was to see how the Krishna will smile, how Krishna will become happy. And that's the reason why all the Gopis and Brajavasis came to Kurukshetra not for earning any pious credit. It was only to see Krishna, because when Krishna will see us, he will smile. And that smile we want to see. And that's our desire. We want to see the smiling face of Krishna. That's the Gopis. That's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gopir Bhartur Padakamalayur Das Dasanudas, the highest devotion is of the Gopis. And Krishna instructing those Gopis in this Kurukshetra. And so this chapter is so important. And then the Gopis became, very pleasant after hearing this instruction. They became happy. All their illusion was removed. And such a wonderful chapter it is. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So time is already over. If you have any comment or question, just a minute. Just a minute.
After hearing this narration, I am getting more confused. That you are saying, it says that Gopis listen after hearing from Krishna.
Yeah.
So it means we are supposed to follow the Gopis. Then it means the Gopis are listen, then how we can.
Yeah. So it's a very good question. You see, Krishna is meeting them after long time, as it was explained by Sukadeva Goswami. And it's not an ordinary thing. Although Gopis were relishing this pain of separation inside, because this is in devotion, separation means is a joy within. But this was going on and on and on for a long time. And Krishna was about to conclude all his pastime, as it was mentioned, 129 years. So few years were remaining. And further there was no opportunity to meet again these Gopis, because Krishna was going to perform the Kurukshetra war. And then he will go back to Dwarka. And then he will conclude his pastime. Right? So, like from the time perspective, Lord wanted to, like all the Yadavas, they fought within themselves, and Yadav clan was finished. Similarly, the gopis carrying this pain of separation, if there was no concluding end for this, and even when the Krishna goes after this, what would happen? This whole universe will say that the gopis just cried simply and Krishna never met them. And what gopis did get in their life? Everybody will question. But today, Lord logically concluding that prema, and then just opened their eyes and showed that I am the Paramatma, whatever you have performed so, it's because of your good fortune. And because of that, he pacified, the gopis. Otherwise, it would have continued, and there is no other opportunity to logically conclude this prema of gopis before Krishna leaves this mortal earth. Yes,
Here it means knowledge he has.
By the spiritual knowledge, any kind of illusion can be, disseminated. So, without spiritual knowledge, one will be in the in this pain of material world. So, because gopis loved Krishna just like their lover, there is a deep attraction for them, and this had to be concluded. So, that's why Lord performed this pastime. By just in some time, even Yashoda Mata, when Krishna ate the mud, Mrad Bhakshana Leela, Krishna ate mud, the Yashoda Mata became bad. Just seeing Krishna eating mud, and she said, you open your mouth. She was about to beat Krishna. Why you are eating mud? And Krishna opened his mouth, and she could see the Brahmanda within her mouth. If that Brahmanda, when she saw, and if Krishna would not have asked the Yogamaya to remove that, covering, Yashoda Mata would not have come to her senses. So that's why Lord opened the Yogamaya for some time, and Yashoda Maya started feeling that, I was feeling that Krishna is my son, but he was Paramatma, he is the great person. She started offering the prayers. And immediately Krishna removed the Yogamaya again. And Yashoda Maya forgot everything. You tell me, why did you eat mud? So this was the pastime of Krishna. So that's why Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj, sometime back when he was giving the class, so when Krishna performs his pastime, sometimes the devotees are covered with the Yogamaya, and sometimes he removes, and then sometimes he covers. So that is the way of this Yogamaya covering, so that Krishna performed this activity. And because Krishna also could not understand the love of these gopis, and that's why Krishna had to continue his pastime to come as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to relish that intense love of the gopis. And for that he had to logically conclude this for some time, and to relish the deep love of Radharani, Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, having the form of the external form of the Anga Kanti of the Radharani. Lord appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a continuation of that. He also could not understand the love he could not satisfy the gopis unless with this spiritual instruction he would not have convinced the gopis. So that's why he removed the Yogamaya and made them, pacified them, and then he completed his pastime, and then again came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, श्री श्री राधा रानी की, सब गोपियों की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, सब भक्तों की जय। हरे कृष्ण। आपने दिखाया इसको, बहुत बढ़िया।
हाँ, उससे हो जाएगा। ये आपके पास टेबल नहीं है।